Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info and Herringport Harcourt. I'm Dio. 11 minutes gone past 3 p.m. on a Wednesday edition of the show. It's a wet Wednesday, but a fine Wednesday nonetheless. And I hope that the midweek has been good for you and has been good to you as well. What no one ever said it was going to be fair. I'm not sure that's the whole design of life. But I do hope it's been good to you nonetheless, or at least you've been able to make lemonade whenever you're confronted with lemons. Welcome once again. For now until about 7, we keep the conversation going. Several matters on the agenda today, as always, as usual. One of the downsides to the show, if you consider it a downside, that is, if you consider it a downside. Of course, we'll be starting today's discussions with side comments as well. Random stories, random source that caught my attention, which will not be discussed at this time. No, they won't. But much later on, after the major is at 6 p.m. During the open season segment, if you perchance missed out on contributing to a matter on the show, I'll take your thoughts during that time till about 7 o'clock when we wrap it up. Now, after the side comments comes today's rant. A little something in my mind. We're expressing some thoughts in it. I'd long to get your take in mind till about 4. It's Wednesday. We've got business news at 4. Now, that's every Wednesday. Well, that's every day, rather. But on Wednesdays, between 4 and 5 p.m., we've got Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, brought to you by SPDC. We're discussing the progressive development of the Niger Delta region. Now, teachers molding generations is the topic of today's discourse on Canvas on Air. Teachers molding generations. My guest on the show today, Kamal Ahmed, is the principal of Bloombreed High School, Port Harcourt here in Rivers State. He'll join me for that conversation on teachers molding generations. When I personally have had teachers have an incredible impact on my life, and they still do. Not maybe at least other lives, and definitely in years to come, never ending really. And so, how crucial, how critical really are they, and what should we be doing to ensure we've got the right mold? Since they're going to be molding generations, I don't know if you catch my drift right now. Before you can mold something, in most instances or most cases, or in many cases, you require a mold. You require a mold to mold something. Okay? Is this going to be one of those brain teasers? Or those questions I ask randomly? Okay. Now, in this case, the first mold is... okay, my mind is working on something here right now. My mind is working on something. Okay. Aha. Am I right here? Okay. Okay, all right. I think I'm getting something here. So I said, you need a mold to mold something. Did you get that? You need a mold to mold something. Yeah. Can someone explain? I'm trying to figure out what question to ask here. Okay, let's ask this. So you know the parts of speech, right? Parts of speech. So the first mold is what parts of speech, and the second mold is what parts of speech. So I said once again, you need a mold to mold something. So what parts of speech? If you get the parts of speech, you definitely understand the question or the statement I just made. Once again, statement is you need a mold to mold something. So what parts of speech is the first mold, and what parts of speech is the second mold? The number, by the way, 081. No, don't call in. Just via WhatsApp on 0809. 030-6416. That's 0809-030-6416. Once again, you need a mold to mold something. What parts of speech is the first mold, and what parts of speech is the second mold? Can anyone figure that one out? Maybe I'll give another, I don't know, maybe a minute, because I'm always pressed for time actually. So let's see how it goes today. Let's see how it goes. You need a mold to mold something. I'm getting responses here right now. Someone says, all right. Okay, all right. Someone says it takes a molded to mold. I'm not sure I know what that means. But first a noun, second a verb. And now the answers keep now start pouring in. Noun and verb. First is a noun, second is a verb. So noun and verb respectively. First mode, noun. First mode. And by the way, I'm getting all kinds of spellings of mold here. I'm seeing MOLD. I'm seeing MOLDE. I'm seeing MODE. Well, maybe I should have spelled that earlier. Now, the correct spelling is MOULD, mold. Okay? And I said you need a mold to mold something. Okay? All right, so that's it. First noun, first mode noun. Okay? First mode is noun, second is verb. That's from Frank. First part of speech is noun, second part of speech is a verb. First is noun, second verb from Endwell in UHT. Ibibozimo goes first mode noun, second verb. First is noun, second is verb. Austin from Port Harcourt. Noun and verb respectively. Hello, Dio. The mode noun, the mode verb. That's from Mrs. Oni. First mode is a noun, second is. Okay. You get it. Absolutely correct answers. The first one is a noun. The second is a verb. Because the first mode refers to an object. The second refers to an action. All right. So the first word, the first mode, is the object, the actual mold, and the second is the verb, the action word of molding something. So that's correct. Fantastic. So teachers actually do that. Interestingly, teachers are a mold, and then they also mold. Remarkable, isn't it? Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that later on in the 4 o'clock hour. And Canvas and Adedayo Elusakin will be brought to you by SPDC. Once again, Kamal Ahmed of Bloomberg High School will be my guest on the show today. I'll take us to 5. We got the news update at 5 p.m. And we move on thereafter. What's the matter after that? Let's see. I may have forgotten. Yeah, police or community police. Who's your favorite contestant? Yeah, who's your favorite contestant? Police or community police? Which one is it? Which one is... Now, this is on the news yesterday. Where is that inside? It's here somewhere. Yeah, President Muhammadu Buhari has assured that the second Niger Bridge and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be completed within the second term of his administration. Now, he also said his administration has approved 13.3 billion naira for the takeoff of the community policing initiative across the country. Community policing. Yeah. That's to go up 13 point, what again? 13 point what? 13.3 billion naira. Here's what the president said about that.
As part of the efforts towards strengthening our national security, we have increased investment in arms, weapons, and other necessary equipment, expanded the National Command and Control Center to 19 states of the Federation, and established a Nigerian Police Trust Fund, which will significantly improve funding for the Nigerian Police Force.
Okay, well, that was not the sound I was looking for, but you must have heard the story already. 13.3 billion naira has been earmarked for community policing. However, a retired AIG of police, and this was not news yesterday, by the way. A retired AIG of police, Felix Valdu, says nothing has been done to improve police welfare, which is one of the demands of the NSAS protesters. In an interview with our correspondent, Valdu called for proper attention to be given to the police as they are responsible for internal security. Now, here's what he said.
All the organizations, the demands made during the NSAS protesters of nothing has changed. In terms of the welfare and well-being of the police officers. And we're in a nation where some people pay so much for doing next to nothing. How can a senator earn about 8 to 9 million every month? What are they doing in the National Assembly? You go to police training institutions, you go to their barracks, there is a huge mess. Police must be well taken care of. That is the number one security agency charged responsibility of providing internal security.
Remarkable stuff. Well, as a slight digression, by the way, gallant officer who just slapped somebody this morning, and right now you are stealing 100 naira from that paid driver, and you are thinking of whom you are going to abduct today. so that he will call his people to bail himself or take to an ATM to withdraw all that he has in his account. The NSAS protesters were also asking for improved welfare for you. They were asking that the money for your buttons be released, and the money for your boots, and the money for your uniforms, and better housing for you, and better equipment for you to work with as well. Remarkable, right? I know you had no idea. But the people who are holding the money for the boots and all that, they haven't done that yet. They haven't listened to what the NSAS protesters were saying. No, they haven't. While you are still helping the madam to carry onions in the market. So the question is, we've got some 13.3 billion naira now to expand on internal security. Do we give that to the police? I'm sure the police has some other, budgetary allocations. But this extra 13.3 billion, do we give it to the police to improve their welfare, improve, their working conditions, or do we expand it on community policing? I'll get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6 p.m. open season after that till about 7 when we wrap up the show today. And of course, the sports gang will be by 7 p.m. for extra time. But let's get things going with some side comments, random stories, and random thoughts that caught my attention. But Harcourt NSAS protest marks 1 year today. Some residents still calling for a total reform of the police to end harassment and brutality. And some of the residents spoke to our correspondent. Let's hear what they had to say. 320. Is it here somewhere? Here we are.
Nothing really has changed. The harassment from the uniformed guys is still on the rise. The protest was only an eye-opening that of a truth. You don't choke us for neck. But what can we do as a people? Government cares less about its populace.
I can't see that anything stops as per the harassment. I'll just say that the rate at which violent videos surface the internet reduced. If we woke up to like 10 videos every day, after the protest, we can actually say that we now wake up to like 1.
Making your hair as a guy, you'll be arrested back there. But now it has really reduced. In Port Harcourt, they said they have reformed the team, but can't actually reform the mentality of people just like that. There has to be drastic change.
Yep, that's what Nigerians are saying, that they haven't seen any cogent or change, let alone even drastic change at all, as far as the activities of the Nigerian police are concerned. What that means, versatile CP, a Booker Friday, is that your children, your boys, a lot of them are still crackheads, even though you disbanded the e-crack team. Lots of them still crackheads going about debilitating, traumatizing, torturing, extorting, robbing, and even sometimes killing innocent civilians, all about town. And of course, the police don't know anything about it. How can they really? The one thing that they're supposed to know, they don't know. But I'm sure that if anybody decides to embark on a peaceful protest tomorrow, the police will start gathering all kinds of intelligence, receiving intelligence reports all over. In fact, it will be raining intelligence reports just like it rained a while ago, or might still be raining at this time. But it is still a testament to and some of the more recent happenings, even after that, with the so-called disbandment of SARS and other things have happened as well. It is a testament to the fact that, and even some more recent developments, even with the Senate finally bowing to pressure and allowing for INEC to electronically transmit results of elections, and like I said yesterday, even electronic voting on the horizon. There's so much that we can do. And the power resides in the people, with the people, not with the politicians, not with the excellencies, not even with gallant officers. I hope that some of the gory things that happened in the aftermath of the NSAS protest or during, I hope they never happen again. I hope they never happen again. Nobody should attack any security agent, police officers, or any member of Nigeria security apparatus, or attack any other person for that matter. It shouldn't happen. But when chaos happens, when anarchy happens, as inevitably it will, when the people's will have been subverted for too long and people can't stand it any longer, Even gallant officer with rifle will not be able to stand. As we all witnessed at that time, even the police were afraid to be on the roads. Around the police stations, they put up barricades there because even gallant officer is afraid as well. Even with the uniform and the gun, nobody is safe really. Nobody is safe when we have irresponsible governance. That's the truth. Nobody is safe. Even you, gallant officer that slapped somebody last night, and the young man was telling you, "What did I do? What did I do?" And you kept on pummeling him. You kept on beating him. Even you are not safe with your uniform and AK-47 rifle. When it hits the fan, everyone's going to be affected eventually. So let's see what has caught my attention on the news today. Programs Director of Social Action, Bonte Isaac, said it worrisome that the NGDC forensic audit report is yet to be made public more than 1 month after it was submitted to President Buhari. He said this at a town hall meeting by civil society groups in Port Harcourt. Well, I have a feeling that this forensic audit report will be made available at some point. I have a feeling. What I'm just curious is to find out what drama is going to play out eventually. Because we've had it all. We've had neck brace, I'm in pains. We've had everything. We've had wheelchairs, we've had stretchers, we've had crutches, we've had walking sticks, we've had ambulances, we've had cancer, we've had strange disease. I think we may have had internal heat, or evil spirits pressing them down the bed at night. We've had every kind of thing, maybe spiritual wife or spiritual husband as well. But I think that we might have a helicopter, an air ambulance of the helicopter kind. Now that's going to be dramatic. That's the only one I think we haven't had yet. Imagine a helicopter having to lower down a stretcher, a gurney, so they can pull the Honorable or the Excellency up, for emergency evacuation. Yeah, that one might happen. While somebody is screaming off the mic, it's okay, pull him up, pull him well, it's okay off the mic. Oh well. So was there anything else that caught my attention today? I think that might be it for today's side comment. So I suppose that will be it. So I go for a break now. When I return, today's round comes up. Do please stay with us. Let's see if I missed anything via WhatsApp. Just responses to the question, mold and mold, noun and verb. Are you all correct? Thank you very much. I'll be right back in a moment. Please stay with us.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litters and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
And now, hard facts.
Hard facts with Diode.
Welcome back. It is Hard Facts 90.3 Nigeria Info and here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 29 minutes to go before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for just a bit. A sample in my mind, I'll be expressing some thoughts on it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts and mine till 4 p.m. I titled today's rant, in case you're watching live on facebook.com/Nigerian for PH, or you've seen the post on our Facebook page or any of the other platforms. I titled today's rant Electronic Transfer of Results and Squid Game. And I'll repeat that. Electronic transfer of results and Squid Game. And I know you're probably thinking, especially if you've seen it or you just heard it now, you're wondering what the heck is going on in his head this time around. Because you're struggling to find some kind of a nexus, a correlation between electronic transfer of results, election results more precisely, and maybe I should have added that, electronic transfer of election results and Squid Game. You probably understand the concept of electronic transfer of election results because that seems to be top on the list of what we're talking about the last couple of days. But you may or may not have heard about Squid Game. So let's start with that. Let's start with that part. What is Squid Game? Now, Squid Game, in case you haven't heard about it, and I wonder why, it's like one of the biggest things in the world right now, is a South Korean survival drama television series streaming on Netflix. And it was released worldwide September 17, 2021. The series centers on a contest where 456 players, drawn from different walks of life but each deeply in debt, play a set of children's games with deadly penalties for losing for the chance to win a 45.6 billion won prize. Yeah, and it's absolutely huge. I've seen it myself, and it's, I think, Netflix's biggest series since inception now. Yeah, possibly Netflix's biggest series, most successful series till now. And I guess that the next award season, it's Squid Game is going to rack up maybe a record number of awards. Now, interestingly, after seeing Squid Game, I had a conversation with a friend, and she said to me that it wasn't so, I've forgotten the word to use right now, but to maybe for lack of the exact choice of her exact choice of word, she said it wasn't so fantastic. Now, I tend to agree with her because she likened it to, say, Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones. Well, I did. She likened it to Game of Thrones. And I agree with her in the sense that Squid Game is not an overly complex, doesn't have an overly complex plot, and is not as fascinating, in quotes, as, say, a Game of Thrones. You know, it doesn't have incredible CGI or some fascinating, incredibly complex plots, you know, and all of that. However, you ask yourselves, I mean, I've binged Netflix for quite some time, and I've also watched on Netflix some other more complex or complicated and equally fascinating TV series, but none of them as big as Squid Game, interestingly. And I said to her, I think what makes Squid Game truly as big as it is, what captures the hearts of people is that Squid Game depicts human nature. I think that's what it does. It depicts people who were at their wits' end. You either succeed or you die. And the most base of human nature was revealed, was exposed. And people who would say, hi, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. God bless you. I hope you're fine. Oh, look at that baby. Oh, what a fine baby. Hope everything is well. Now, that person in a different scenario, a different situation, where it's their life or your life, just putting it simply, may not react to you or respond to you in a very nice, congenial way that I just described. And I think that is what makes Squid Game relatable to people. And I think that's the difference between a Squid Game, a Game of Thrones, or any of those other really fascinating series like Blacklist and the others. Squid Game is relatable. People find it relatable. Some people might even see themselves in some of the characters in Squid Game, or might remember an experience they had with someone, or some other experience they had by watching Squid Game. Because once again, you see human nature being unraveled, so to speak. You can't really relate characters in Game of Thrones, or Blacklist for that matter, not as such. But in a Squid Game, you can see how human beings unravel, so to speak, when they are in a truly dire situation. And also, by unraveling, you see how human beings are able to change so rapidly depending on the situation or circumstance. How that one moment they're very nice to you and they're cordial. The next moment, when they're in a difficult situation, they are deceiving you, wanting to cheat you. The next moment, they're trying to kill you. And a moment after that, they're nice to you again when they think it benefits them. And a second after that, they want to see you die. The same person, the same individual, just slightly different circumstances. And it doesn't even matter how far apart the circumstances are or how close together the circumstances are. But that's what Squid Game does. That's what it reveals. The complexities of human nature. The complexities of human nature. Maybe even the deceitfulness of it as well. Maybe one could use that term also. Maybe even the deceitfulness of it also. And that makes it relatable, and that's what captures, in my estimation, in my opinion, the attention of millions of viewers the world over. Now, back to the first part of today's title for my rant. Electronic transmission of election results. How does it tie into this? Now, you might be aware, I imagine you are, that the Nigerian Senate has backtracked on its earlier position that INEC should not electronically transmit results, especially as we are preparing for general elections come 2023. And the whole country is agog right now. Some people are thanking the National Assembly and the Senate for this wonderful thing they have done. How we have never seen a good thing like this before. This is even better than sliced bread and all of that. I don't know if we should thank them. I think not, actually. No, I know we shouldn't thank them. They're simply doing the job, which they probably should have done long before now. But the thing is this. Now, something is going to happen, and I dare say it's happening already. All of a sudden, our honorables and excellencies are going to become Democrats. And I say that in quotes, or let me even compound it, true Democrats. If you're watching this live, I'm doing the inverted commas right now. They're all going to become true Democrats. We're going to find people who in the past used to beat drums of war when elections are coming around. We're going to find people who were emeritus professors when it came to election manipulating and rigging. We're going to find people whose stock in trade was to loot treasuries dry. Now that the country is going in a certain direction, all of a sudden they are going to become sheep. As humble as sheep. They're going to be using nice sounding tones now. Their voices will no longer be loud. They're going to be mellow. You're not going to have honorables and excellence talk about how this is a wonderful time in our country. How all of us should stand up and stand for democracy. And how that is a critical time for Nigerians. How Nigerians have won. The voice of the people have spoken. These were the people, by the way, who did everything possible to sabotage and ensure that the people's voice was not heard. Or the voices of the people were silenced. But they're going to become true Democrats now. Talking about how, yes, the electoral system has been revamped. And how, yes, the people are finally going to be able to have their say. And yes, this is a truly epoch-making event for Nigeria. And how that, yes, the people are finally going to be able to determine for themselves who their leaders are going to be. These are the same people, by the way, who have profited from the faulty system, who entrenched, by the way, who entrenched the disastrous electoral system we've had in this country, who sponsored people to snatch ballot boxes, who abducted electoral officials and took them to places to ensure that they were thumbprinting massively, who corrupted the system, who bought over and paid over and bribed security agents to work for them and against other people, who even paid other persons to assassinate and eliminate their real or perceived political opponents, who destroyed the system for personal gain, who were the wolves amongst us. But now that they see that the tide is changing and things are looking different now, electoral transmission. So much different too. So much different. How are we going to do this one now? That means these people are going to start having their say now. This one is new. Okay, you know what? Let's change our strategy. Now let's form teams. And that's what happened in Squid Game. At some point they formed teams. At some point the people in the same team devoured each other. Another point, they formed teams again. They formed teams of 10 initially. Later they formed teams of 2. And even the teams of 2 also worked against each other. They're going to try to form teams with the people now. See, we are with you. This is what we have been talking about. This is what we have been calling for. Let's work together. Electronic transmission. So the people can have their say, can have their way. And this will produce governance, government for the people, of the people, by the people, within the people, into the people, through the people. It's all about the people. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. The complexities of human, in this case, the complexities of honorables and excellencies' behavior are going to calm down now, as they are also studying, electronic transmission of results as well. They're also studying it. They're confused. Some of them are confused right now. What's going on here? What's going on here? So they're going to employ a different approach now. A true Democrats approach. But the prize is still the same for them. Grab power at all costs. Destroy the economy. Steal as much as possible. Help the police to keep the people entrenched. Keep them subdued. Beat them up. Deal with them. Don't worry, if they rise up against you, we'll give you 10 million if something happens. Or 20 million or 15 million as the case may be. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Same people. Just different approach. Brought on by electronic transmission of results. So, Nigerians shouldn't fall for the same tricks again. It's a Squid Game of a sort we have in our hands right now. The end point, once again, winner grabs all. For some of these persons, for most of these persons actually, for most of them, winner grabs all. Whatever it takes. In the past, it was kill everybody, destroy, we'll take it by force. Now, oh yes, we are Democrats. True Democrats. Let's work together. Electronic transmission. The people who have their way now, and we have their say. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope you went bored. Let's get you all taken mine. Numbers to the same line, 0. We got 0817 923 0002 or 0003, 0817 923 0007 as well. I suppose we're live on facebook.com/Nigeria for PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Please keep it brief, straight to the point, and once the call is answered, you would have to turn down the volume of your radio set. Else we can't have a conversation, literally. Let's see, what do I have here? Via Facebook. Okay, I'm getting all kinds of messages here, and I'm not sure that some folks really understand the yes, and so I'm going to be very picky with my messages today. The ones I read, that is. I've got Ima from NTA on the line. Ima, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Mr. Doyle, good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Yes. Now that we are advocating for electronic transmission during our election period, if we happen to follow this approach and we choose the president, the governor, and others, then what do we do to change their mind? Because if the mind that these people will have is still the same mind that these people will, the people that will come up will have, it means that the whole thing they will still.
The point is not to change the minds. The point. Okay, Ima, great to hear from me. The point is not to change the mind. The point is to ensure that you vote the right people into office. That's the point of it. You don't vote a thief into office and I hope that after I get into office, he becomes born again. That's not the essence of this. That's not the essence of my rant. You know, you don't as a woman, for example, as a woman, and you don't marry a woman beater, a man that is, and then hope that when you get married, and he's going to change. He won't beat you again. Yeah. I go Dennis from Rukbako. You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes, Dayo, is it not ridiculous that one will accept the direct election? They will not accept direct election, but they are interested in transmission of results. It sounds strange that you think of fairness. You have fairness at the back of your mind, then you think, oh, they should transmit results. But you will not be fair to your party members. You want to go behind, then select candidates, anoint him, and then push him on the people. Sad. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Mike from Umukushi, welcome. Go ahead.
Bayo.
Hello. All right, go ahead.
I don't think this will work.
You don't think what will work?
Yeah. I don't think it will work.
You don't think what will work?
I don't think the electronic transmission will work.
Why don't you think it will work?
This is our system that I know that something they start, they cannot finish it. And I know that since the House member talked about it, I've not had any...
Mike, what is the cogent reason? Give me a strong reason you think is not beyond but beyond something pedestrian. Give me a cogent reason why you believe it won't work.
Dayo, I'm not an American. I'm a Nigerian, and I know that
doesn't make you a second-class human being.
Hello?
Doesn't make you an inferior human being.
Sorry, so what makes
that
me
you are
Nigerian
and not American does not make you an inferior human being. All right, Mike's gone. Samuel from Rumabekwe, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
This issue yesterday, I asked Chief Lloyd if there's no way they are going to manipulate this issue. Now, I don't know if you listen to today's news. Most of them now, all these our politicians now, they have now started, so they will not agree on this indirect election. If they tell you that they have started studying about this electoral something, so they will see the way they will manipulate this election. And another issue is the INEC. So let us look on these things. INEC now, they should look onto them, because INEC will find one word or the other, will start giving us excuse that this one is not working, this one is not, by that time they will manipulate the election. So I don't think that this will be possible in Nigeria. Thank you.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. For me, I won't be surprised if some of our honorables and excellencies, some of the antiques right now is to get people all over every possible space to sell the erroneous narrative that is not going to work, because they want you to believe that. They constantly want you to believe that it can change, that you are helpless, nothing can happen. That way, that way you don't come out to vote. When the numbers when people don't come out in their numbers, they're able to manipulate in some ways whatever small numbers are available. Okay, don't believe that. It can work. It is going to work. It will work. That's why, once again, they come to carry your naked babies. If they don't believe you have the power, they won't carry your naked babies. If they don't believe that electronic transmission can change the narrative, they will not go from shouting fire and brimstone and war just some years ago to becoming true Democrats now. Harry from Iwofa, you're welcome. Go on.
Yes, good evening.
All right, go ahead.
Of a truth, human behavior is dynamic. That is true. So, and again, things change. Yes, things on earth, in the world, things change. There were periods that man was not as refined as he is now. So, If the Senate and the rest now have agreed to go about or to tell INEC to go about electronic transfer of results, it's not something new. That is change for you. So what we should do now...
It is something new, actually. For us, it's something new.
There was a time that we were brutal. The politicians were brutal, and we gave them that opportunity. We gave to them. And were we not the people who are volunteering to become boys to them and talk to them that used us? Now there's a realization that it should not be so again. And if they took, what of if they said no? What could have happened? So the best thing for us now that is
they didn't.
Yes, good afternoon.
All right, go on.
What the system to me, it may work or it may not work. It may work in the sense that if the politicians, our leaders, will allow the electronic to work in the way that it's supposed to work without interfering into the system. Just like one man say, Nigeria is a country that they garbage out what they did not put in. That's another aspect of it. It may work. But it may not work in the sense that we have been using car reader. They say car reader. We see the process of car reader. At the end, at the middle of the election, they say no service, malfunctioning. So what will be the state of Nigeria in electronic voting? We will be copying what is happening in America. All of them concited to it. Can our leader allow the electronic voting to be an efficient in the proper way? That's a big question we should know.
That's not even a question we should be asking at all, Israel. But good to hear from you. In my opinion, that question doesn't even arise. There's no basis for it. Now, the Nigerian leadership did not give or allow for electronic transmission of results because they suddenly became nice people. No, it's not because they suddenly became good or they were on the way to Damascus and then a bright light from heaven shone on their faces and said, "Honorable Excellency, why are you destroying my people? Let them be." No. That's not what happened. There's pressure from the people, from civil society organizations, from other kinds of organizations, from individuals. There is a mass movement. Whether you know it or not, it's completely irrelevant. But the fact is that it is there. And they know it's there. And they can see the handwriting on the wall. And that's why this has happened. Because people are pressurizing, people are clamoring, people are demanding. And that's why this happened. Not out of the wonderfulness of their heart or the kindness of their disposition. Absolutely not. Now, the whole essence of this is to, as much as possible, limit human interference. Where elections go wrong in Nigeria, especially, maybe not even at the polling. How many polling units do we have ballot boxes being snapped? How many? Yes, it happens in some places, but cumulatively speaking, the figures or the percentages are really inconsequential, especially when we talk about general elections that cover the entire country. Even the elections in a state only, the figures are infinitesimal. But at the point where election results are being transmitted manually from one point to another is where the manipulations take place. If immediately the figures are tabulated at a center and they are immediately transmitted to HQ, you cannot have that interference. And that's the essence of this, to reduce as much as possible human interference. When you reduce that, then you are able to drastically, by a great degree, reduce any manipulative tendencies with the process. And that's what this is going to do. That is what this is going to do. Anyways, like I said, and there are always going to be those who are going to say no. Let's see, via, do I have any messages via WhatsApp? No, I do actually. I have a lot of them over here. Tons, actually. Why wouldn't it work? Didn't we vote electronically in Big Brother? That's from VC. Also via WhatsApp. The best thing that's happened under this current Senate is the introduction of direct primaries into Nigerian electoral system. I pray PNB gives assent to it. However, any politician who accepts electronic transmission of results but rejects direct primaries is nothing but a hindrance to Nigerian democracy. But my worry is that Nigerian Senate is like a deity. They will give you what's left hand and take it back with the right hand. Now, for those who have a problem with direct or indirect primaries, why is that your problem? You see, I see Nigerians as also some characters in this Squid Game. How is that your problem? A political party has the right to present any candidate if you like. If a political party can decide to present the worst candidate in the entire world, it's their party. If the members of that party say, we want to present the worst candidate the world has ever seen in the history of elections, they have the right to do that. You have the right to vote the right person into office, irrespective of what any party decides to do. So if you look at Party A and you see their candidate is not good enough, look for Party A, B, C, or D, or E, or F that has a good candidate and vote that person. Must you vote for Party A or Party B? It's just highly illogical. So hopefully we have the direct primaries become law. But even if that doesn't happen, why are you overly concerned as to who the party presents? How is that your oh, okay, maybe those who are concerned are party members. Oh, I understand it now. Yeah, they're usually the ones who rush the calling when we have matters centered on politics. So maybe they are party members. Oh, okay, it makes some more sense to me now. That's what they might be concerned about. But for non-party members, non-carry members of political parties, that's not your business. Let them present anybody they want. Vote the right people into office. But like I said, in conclusion, watch out now. The drums of war are going to stop. They are going to become true Democrats now. Speaking softly and solemnly. All right, it's 4 p.m. A break for the business news. Canvas and Adedayo Elusakin roundtable comes up after that. Do please stay with us.